Hey guys, welcome to another Face to Face. Today, as you can probably see from the title and thumbnail, I'm going to be talking about, and I'm going to say this really epically, the Game of the Year. Maybe I'll do some editing voice modification in order to fix it or something. I had three ideas. I wanted to talk about my Game of the Year and ignore that Facebook noise. I had three ways to talk about the Game of the Year. I was thinking either a countdown or a discussion, but I ultimately decided on a face-to-face because, full disclosure, it's the least amount of work. Plus, I'd rather spend my free time working. I'm working on something coming from my channel way down the line. I just worked like 3 or 4 hours on that today, and I want to keep that a download for now, so you'll see when we get to it. I'd rather focus on that right now instead of a Game of the Year discussion or countdown. Also, discussion is a bit easier, but I kind of just want to focus this on me because I'm self-centered like that. I don't want to get Sam or Brian to be like, oh, I like Fire Emblem or something. I want to talk about what I want, not what they want. Who cares what they want? Anyway, let's get on to what I've been playing in 2016, which is quite a bit, but not as much as most. I've only beaten like maybe 8 games in 2016. Let's see if I can count that off the top of my head. I'm going to close Facebook right now so the freaking messaging doesn't annoy you. Let's see. There is Mario & Luigi Paper Jam, Fire Emblem Fates. I beat Birthright and Conquest, but not Revelation yet. Star Fox Zero, Paper Mario Color Splash, and Pokemon Moon, and Overwatch, and Ratchet and Clank. I think that's pretty much it. There may be something that I'm missing, but I have a general idea what I thought of gaming this year. Overall, it's been an okay gaming year. Not the best, not the worst. I've actually had a few games that I've really liked, but also a few I haven't really liked too much. So let's get on to it. Before I talk about the game of the year, I'm going to talk about my least favorite game of the year being Star Fox Zero. I did that as a Let's Play with Max, and that's the first Star Fox game I've ever played, and I didn't enjoy it. I know a lot of people that didn't like it for a variety of reasons, mainly the controls, but since I played it in 2-player, the controls weren't so bad. I don't know, I didn't really like the game that much. Like, it was too arcadey for me. I think maybe I'm just not a fan of Star Fox in general. I like more games that involve like a bit more detail than just shoot things in your way and stuff like that. Plus, like, the level design wasn't very interesting. Getting the medals was really tedious. It was too short to be memorable. I don't know, I just found the game boring and dull and forgettable, in my opinion. And even though I played with normal controls, thanks to being 2-player, so it wasn't stupid where I had to switch from TV to screen, which I can't imagine would make it even worse. So, on to Game of the Year. Wow, this is going to be a short face-to-face. We're at 3 minutes. That's it. And I'm already at the Game of the Year. It might be a shorter one. We'll see. So when it first came out, I honestly thought Overwatch was going to be my game of the year. Like, when I first played it, it was literally, like, one of my favorite games of all time. It was in, like, my top 5 games. I was just so obsessed with it. I'd play, like, 6 or 7 hours a day. It was a ton of fun. I really enjoyed it. But the problem with Overwatch is it gets really repetitive. Like, it's really fun at first, but when it's just the same thing over and over again, it's the same 3 or 4 maps, the same game types, the same characters, it just gets kind of stale. And they've been doing a good job updating it over the time, but it's kind of like Pokemon Go, which is not my game of the year, by the way. Where, like, even though they've added more stuff to make it better, I just don't care enough to go back. I had my fun with Overwatch, but looking back, it was a pretty good game. It wasn't amazing, it definitely wasn't my game of the year. My game of the year goes to either No Man's Sky, Mighty Number 9, or... yeah, those... no, I'm kidding. Those games are garbage. I haven't even bothered with them. My game of the year is definitely what I expected going in the beginning of the year was Pokemon Moon. Pokemon has been like a series I've kind of been on and off over the years. Like, it's definitely something I really enjoy and something I obsess over, but it's also something where, like, I go through periods where I don't really care about it, and after X and Y, I kind of went through that same period where I just stopped caring about Pokemon too much. And when Sun and Moon came out, I was excited, but I wasn't too overly thrilled like I was with X and Y was announced, because, I don't know, I just didn't really like Pokemon that much. But the thing about Pokemon Moon that makes it my game of the year is that it's not just my game of the year, but it's also something that hasn't happened in a while. It's one of my favorite games of all time. It's probably my 3rd favorite game next to Xenoblade and Thousand Year Door. I've never really felt that strongly about a Pokemon game before. for a few reasons, but we'll get into that a bit. I also want to talk about it. It's also my favorite Pokemon game, which is obvious, which you can tell from saying one of my favorite games of all time. The thing about Pokemon is each Pokemon game has its own flaw, which has limited what I liked about it. Gen 1 was outdated as hell, and Gen 2 was good, but the leveling system was kind of skewed thanks to having 2 regions. It made the leveling kind of ridiculous. Like, you have a part where Gym 7's best gym leader is 2 levels lower than Gym 6's, which is just ridiculous. Like, the leveling, and you fight like level 40s until the league. It's really silly. Hoenn was 7.8 too much water. No, not just that. Hoenn used to be my favorite, but I don't know. Just I played ORS, didn't really like it much. I guess that's because of the water, and I don't know. Just didn't like Hoenn that much. It's probably actually yeah. Hoenn doesn't really have a main reason why I don't like it that much. I mean, I like it. Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum were great games, but they were limited by how slow they were. Black and White were too linear, and X and Y have a plethora of problems, mainly stemming from the fact that there was nothing to it besides a generic Pokemon game. It didn't really bring anything new to the table. Sun and Moon, like Hoenn, now that I think about it, doesn't really have anything that was really, really bad. The only thing I didn't really like is, along with Hoenn, ironically, I didn't really care for the Pokemon that much. But, like, in terms of a game itself, if you ignore the new Pokemon, I thought it was magnificent. I mean, they fixed the problem that I had with previous Pokemon games where it's too linear. And granted, Sun and Moon is still linear, but the route structure itself feels pretty open. Like, it's not just go through a straight path, go through grass, but the routes were something that I'd never seen before in Pokemon. That impressed me enough. The story was also the strongest Pokemon story. Actually, maybe not as strong as Black and White. I need to think over that over a bit. And the way it changed things up from standard Pokemon just made it really fresh. Like, I've never been that addicted to playing a game in a long time. Pretty much when I wasn't eating, sleeping, doing work, or being at work, I was playing Pokemon. Like, I grabbed every free time I can to play that game. And I've never had that much enjoyment in a game in a very long time. It's just something that just felt magical to me. Like, it was just, I just had so much fun playing that game. Maybe, like, over the years it'll go down, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be locked in as my favorite Pokemon game, one of my favorite games of all time, and my game of the year. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have to say. Brief discussion, eh? I mean, if I had it with a friend, it would have been like 30 minutes. But yeah, that's pretty much it. 2016 was an okay gaming year. Not the best. Definitely not the strongest for Nintendo, for sure. But it gave us Pokemon, Moon, and also a few other 3DS games. Like, people say 2016 was weak for Nintendo, but also gave us Fire Emblem Fates and Paper Jam. And I actually really like both of those games, though not as strongly as Pokemon. So thank you for watching, and goodbye.